What's up, y'all? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday evening, per the usual. I'm Graham Powell on this screen. That's Bradley D. Brown on the other. Say what's popping, Bradley D. Brown.
Going on.
A few things here and there before we get going. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all five of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. Okay, so there's kind of a big thing in the sports world going on tonight. Would you like to inform the listeners as to what that is?
Talking about the NBA draft.
Well,
It's gonna
that would
start
be
up.
it. That would be it.
And you got some other options. You got the World Cup. You got the other big story coming out of the NFL slash NCAA.
What's the big story coming out of the NFL and slash NCAA?
The NFL has put their foot down and said, "Hey, we weren't planning on doing a supplemental draft this year, and we're still not going to." So, Brendan Sorsby, see you in 2027, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially.
That dude is not playing football. I mean, he can play it all he wants to on the practice field, but he's not playing it competitive until I don't know, sometime in 2027. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's I did see that news come out. I saw that headline. Of course, the World Cup's been going on for over a week now. The United States plays again Thursday, I believe. They're 2-0 right now in group play. I saw that England's playing right now. They're scoreless against whoever it was they're playing. Uh, I did see a stat Ronaldo uh, scored today, and I think that is his sixth like World Cup he scored in.
Yeah.
Six World Cups he has scored in. Now he's been around for a long time. I don't know what his age is. Excuse me. I don't know what his age is, but he's been around for a long time. But six to hear six World Cups, like that's wild that he's
Yeah.
been a part of that many World Cups. But to score in that many World Cups is pretty unique in itself. Uh, I don't know if Portugal won that game or not. I haven't watched much of the World Cup in the last several days. I'm kind of just waiting for the United States to play. It'll it'll kind of be on in the background at times, but I haven't paid much attention to it since the first week that they had it going. When do we get out of group play and advance to like the knockout rounds?
I think it's coming up. I mean, I think it's our next game. Like we're out of group play. I'm pretty
Oh, are
sure.
we? I was like, I don't even know. I just know there was one. Um, but that would make sense. It's been pushing 2 weeks since the World Cup's been underway. It would make sense.
Of
But
course, I don't know. Aren't you supposed to play everybody in your group for group play? There's
I'm
four in the group, so I mean,
not sure.
I don't know.
That
Maybe we have
that's
one more game. So
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know that we're there yet. All you had to do was win 2 games to go to the knockout round. That doesn't make sense because there have been some ties and etc. Um, so I don't think they are there yet, especially since the United States was already set to play Thursday. So that wouldn't make a lot of sense there. Either way, I haven't watched much of it lately. I'll check out more of it when the United States plays, and especially when we get to the knockout rounds. But yeah, supplemental draft is not going to be a thing this year anyway. World Cup's underway. NBA draft is tonight. Of
yeah.
course, Washington has the number one pick, and that's a franchise I just always forget about because there's nothing relevant about them. It's Daniel Gafford went there, the center from Arkansas, which of course we keep up with Arkansas guys, being Arkansas guys slash alums.
Yeah.
He went there, and then I just completely forgot he was in the NBA when he went to Washington. You never heard anything from Washington, at least nothing good. And so you just no news ever came out of there. And then he got traded to Dallas a couple of years ago when they go to the finals, and he was a pivotal part of that squad back when Dallas was a good team 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot happened between then and now. But either way, Washington is a place you don't want to go. They've essentially become the Cleveland Browns or the New York Jets of the NBA, and it's just not a place you can go and thrive. Maybe go and get a bag if that's all you're interested in. But I mean, everybody in the NBA is getting paid, so I don't know why you want to go there as a player, other than to get paid, or they're just the team that's giving you a chance. Every situation's unique, but yeah, if you're a player worth having, you don't want to go to Washington. But they have the number one pick. It's apparently set in stone. According to John Calipari, the picks 1 through 5 or 6, the picks are already kind of set as far as the teams have decided who they want, who's their guy, and who's going to be available. My my eyes are really only on Darius Acuff Jr. Of course, being Arkansas guys, I'm looking at where he could fall. Cam Boozer is going to be in there somewhere. It's a I don't know. It's a good draft class. Uh, Darius Acuff Jr. Last I checked is projected anywhere in that 5-6 range. Last I checked, you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
The guy from Kansas for the longest time was, at least during the college basketball season, was considered the top prospect. I didn't see anything that made that clear cut to me from him, and I was just like, I don't see it. I don't see just a clear cut top prospect here. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Where do you predict Darius Acuff Jr., who is the best point guard in the draft? I don't know what the scouts say. I don't care what they
Yeah.
say. He's the best point guard in the draft. Where do you think he falls?
Well, right after the tournament, I mean, there was still a lot of excitement surrounding his name, and it's everybody was saying, "Oh, he could go as high as number 3," and that would put him I think the Grizzlies or something. So, I mean, that'd be a good spot, I guess. He's close to his some of his fan base. I mean, probably not his hometown. So that I don't know. I could see him
De-
going there, but then
Definitely not his hometown of Detroit area.
no.
So
But then, following number 4 is what, Chicago? Saying that'd be sweet to, see him wear the red and black. But the mock draft that I'm looking at right now currently has him going 7th to the Kings, which, yeah,
that's
I
interesting.
yeah.
I think that's
It,
just that he was at Arkansas. I think that's the whoever did the mock draft. They just Arkansas hasn't been on the map long enough for them to take Arkansas seriously. Anyone coming out of Arkansas, uh, which if you thrive in the SEC and you're the SEC Player of the Year in today's SEC basketball, you're not paying attention if you're not taking that player seriously or that any the player of the year from that conference, if you're not taking it seriously because he's at Arkansas uh, or in the SEC, that's makes no sense. It's goofy. You're not paying attention if that's the case. I could see him going to Memphis. That was my first thought, just because the Ja Morant situation. You don't really. It's always up in the air. You don't really know what's going on there. Are they going to deal him? Are they not? Is he? What's he doing these days? It's a tumultuous relationship between Ja and Memphis.
yeah.
It would be cool to see him go to Memphis, Darius Acuff Jr., because then I could go see him play. if that's in fact something I'm able to. I mean, it's something I'm able to do at some point, and it's
Okay.
a 2 hour drive from where I'm at. Uh, I wouldn't love it for him personally. Memphis doesn't hasn't done the greatest job of building a successful teams. Now they've dealt with injuries, but they've I don't know they've been lackluster over the last couple of years. So I wouldn't be. I mean, I'd be excited for him to go that high, but as far as potentially finding team success, I wouldn't love him going to Memphis. Chicago, sure. The Clippers are the have the fifth pick. That's via Indiana. I don't know if that's a trade or what. I don't know what the deal is there. But the Clippers have the fifth pick. Uh, Sacramento, they their more relevant days were when De'Aaron Fox was there as their main guy and was thriving. De'Aaron Fox has not been that guy in San Antonio, so they're kind of looking to find that spark again that De'Aaron Fox provided them when he was there. So, I sure none of these spots have me excited about where he could possibly go, at least in the top 10.
I'll think four NBA mock drafts that I looked at all have him going to Sacramento with that seventh pick.
Interesting. Well, as Cal said in in an interview with I can't remember who it was. It was on some major sports network. I can't remember who it was with, but he made the statement that picks 1 through 6 were basically set in stone. I think it was 1 through 6. I could be wrong on that, but the first several picks are kind of set. The teams have decided who they're going with. I would not. I would not hate that he went to Sacramento. I mean, that could be a good landing spot for him. He's not going to win a championship, but he could certainly go make a name for himself and do well enough to where teams are really going to bid for him after that first contract. That's what I'm thinking long term there for Darius Acuff Jr. Of the top 10, do you have the teams picking?
Yeah.
Of the top 10, where would you most like to see him fall to or land at? Let me put it that way.
Probably honestly Chicago. But yeah, I don't know. I'm fine wherever he goes. I mean, he'll probably won't be his last stop in the NBA. So, but they're saying with Sacramento though he would contribute immediately. So there wouldn't even need to be a wait and see kind of a deal. So he'd be plug and play in Sacramento.
I think he's going to be plug and play wherever he goes. I mean, this is basketball. You know, if you're ready to go, get out there and produce. You know, this is it's not the NFL where they kind of just steadily bring you in, slowly but surely bring you in to and groom you to that spot, whatever your position you're going to be playing. The NBA, they groom you by putting you out there and saying, "All right, let's see what you got." Chicago, that's probably a good landing spot for him. I see the Bucks are at pick 10. I don't. I think that was their pick spot anyway. But the other news coming out of the NBA, I saw this. I think it was late last night that I saw it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, has been dealt to Miami. Him and Bobby Portis, another Arkansas guy, dealt to the Miami Heat for a plethora of players and 3 first-round picks and then some. So good for the Bucks. That was the best deal that the Bucks were offered, and they took it. Reports I heard were that the Celtics offered Jaylen Brown and a couple of first rounders and some other players, and Bucks turned that down. They went with Miami's offer instead. 3 first round picks, a plethora of players makes sense. either way, it's good for the Bucks that they got something for Giannis because it was clear he wasn't coming back. So if you're going to deal him, now's the time to do it. Get it done before the season starts. Just get it done, get it over with, get the best deal that you possibly can. And they did that. So everybody kind of wins to an extent. Giannis can still go wherever he wants to go at the end of the next season. Bobby Portis, he's already got a ring with Milwaukee, and he was loved in Milwaukee. He's one of those beloved players from that franchise. He gets to live in Miami now instead of Milwaukee. That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
good for Bobby Portis just on a personal level. And the Bucks get a ton of picks and players. They're in rebuild mode, and that's what they're going to do. And they got plenty of picks to do it to start off with, starting tonight at pick number 10. So kind of everybody wins there. The Heat, they're not winning the East with this trade. It's not that kind of trade, but it's making a splash, and that's what Pat Riley wants to do.
It's an exciting play. I mean, exciting trade.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're not winning the East, but they're relevant, I guess.
Yeah. They'll fill the seats.
You're putting him with Bam Adebayo, which that's a piece you did not want to give up if you're Miami. So that'll be interesting. Not many teams are going to come inside uh, dealing with that length when those two are out on the floor. But yeah, they're still not winning the East, but it's interesting. It's something to talk about. I guess I would agree with you. I don't know if I answered. I guess I would agree with you as far as Darius Acuff going to the Bulls. That'd probably be what I would want to see. Um, but yeah, he may very well end up in Sacramento, and if so, there are worse spots to land.
Yeah.
It's a it, there are definitely worse places to go. At least he's not going to Washington or somewhere like that. It's a good landing spot, I suppose, if you're Darius Acuff Jr. I
Just
will. When
wondering
does
when his shoes are going to come out.
oh yeah, the Reeboks? What are you going to
Yeah.
get some?
Heck yeah, dude. I'm going to rock them.
All right, I'll see what they look like, and then I'll think about it.
Well, yeah, if they're hideous, I'm not going to get them, but they're
Well,
decent looking. Yeah. I'll rock a pair.
I'm typically just a running shoe guru, and that's all I look into. But we'll see what happens and see how much they are at this point in my life, and then I'll go from there.
Here they're going to be on the cheaper side just because he wants kids to be able to afford them.
All
But
right. Well, then I will most definitely kids and not rich adults like myself.
yeah.
But yeah, whatever the reasoning is that they're cheaper, I'm loving that. I'm all for that. I did hear that. You're right about that. I remember him saying that was partially why he wanted to go with Reebok because they would make them affordable. So good on him for that. Uh, I wish him the best. I hope he lands in a good spot where he can thrive and be successful at the next level. He's going to be successful. I would just like to see him have team success. I mean, he's that
Yeah.
good of a player. He's the best Razorback I've ever seen, and I've said that on the show. I've not wavered on it. I won't. Uh, yeah, wish the dude nothing but the best. He did nothing but great things in the year he was at Arkansas, and he most definitely is good enough to play now. So in the NBA. So just wish him the best landing spot possible. All right, when does the draft start, and how much of it will you watch?
I think at 7 o'clock, I'll watch just enough to see where Acuff goes, and then watch something else.
Same here. As soon as I see where A Cup goes, I'm going to tune out, and then anything else I'll check out on a whatever alert pops up on my phone.
Yeah.
That's how I'll check that out. Um, do you have a? Was there ever a point where you paid attention to the NBA drafts? like a specific year or anything like that?
No, no. Well, I mean, I halfway paid attention to it whenever big names from Arkansas would go in. But I didn't watch it. I would keep track of it though. I mean, I'd watch out for those notifications, see where they went. But yeah, that was about as far as I went. I'm not gonna sit there and watch like the first 60 picks just to see who goes where.
For 60 picks, you really got to be an NBA fan to watch the whole draft. That's wild. Um,
People do it, man. Same with the NFL draft, dude. They'll watch all 3 days of it.
yeah, I'm not that diehard. Yeah, not gonna happen. Now, my most memorable, I've never done that either as far as like having a like, oh, I want to watch the NBA draft. There was one year, I think this was 2017, so roughly 9 years ago. If 2017 was the year this happened, I think it was. I was into weightlifting at that point. I had just kind of gotten back into the gym regularly around that time for several months. And I started to see results and I kind of got addicted to it. And so I was going regularly to the gym and I was really into lifting at the time. I wasn't running competitively or anything like that back then. Not like I do now, at least. Nowhere close. I was just lifting mainly. And I have a surgically repaired neck, as you know, and I was doing tricep extensions, cable extensions, and I was getting stronger, so I was going heavier and heavier. But that's not necessarily good for my neck. And as I was extending on one of my reps, I just felt and I could hear it too, just a loud pop on the left side of my neck area between my lats and just my neck, the upper part of my neck behind my ear. And I was like, that's not good. And I was very sore after that. And I went to the doctor and they basically, I saw a nurse practitioner, of course, and they said, just, lay off the weights for a couple of
Walk it off.
weeks. Well, they said lay off the weights for at least a week. I would say 2 weeks, and they could see I was having a hard time like lifting my head and turning it, which I'd do anyway. But it was way worse, and it hurt. Like it was in quite a bit of pain, and so they prescribed me some muscle relaxers and pain medication. But the muscle relaxers, they were like, this is for some just relief now. I said okay, and I went to Walmart and filled the prescription. The pharmacist even told me, she said, I would you might want to just take one of these because it said take two. It said take two of these once or twice a day, and
Yeah.
I can't remember which. And the pharmacist said you might want to just take one of these, and I said it says to take two, so I'm going to take two.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
I had it in my mind like, man, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna pop these two, and I'm just gonna sit and watch the NBA draft and just chill, just try to relax.
Float on a cloud and watch TV.
Pretty much, that was the idea. And I think by pick 5 or 6, I had to go get in the bed. I mean, it put me down, dude. I mean, it hit hard. I had to just go get in the bed. And fortunately, I made it to the bed okay. But it was a struggle. I remember that. I that was what I remember most about that NBA draft was being like just looking forward to being able to have some relief and just sit in the recliner and watch the NBA draft and just kind of melt and watch the draft. And I did that all right for the first 5 or 6 picks, but it was nope. I had to go to bed after that. It was game over. So that was the most memorable portion of that draft for me. Um, yeah. Anyway, thought that would be a fun story to tell here to our listeners. Okay, what else going on in the sports world that we want to talk about?
Another SEC team wins the College World Series.
Oh yeah, that
Oklahoma.
happens.
Yeah. Oklahoma took care of business last night, beat North Carolina in the final game. Most of those games, especially Oklahoma games, man, they were. Yeah, I mean, they won them pretty decisively. I mean, they won last night's game by what 11 runs, is 13-2.
13-2.
Uh, and I think the previous night North Carolina beat them by 9-2, and the first game they won like 10-3 or something like that, right?
Oklahoma,
Like,
that is something
yeah.
along those lines. Yeah.
I mean, they weren't really close games. I mean, last night, man, it got out of hand a little early. I think Oklahoma scored in all but one inning, 1 or 2 innings. So they just kept putting them up, and yeah, poor North Carolina couldn't do anything. I think their starting pitcher was out by the second end of the second inning. So
It was very Ole Miss vibes the year that they won it in 2022. I think that
yeah,
was the year
got
they
hot at
did.
the right time. Yeah, ranked, not even in the top 10. Just
Had a
get hot at the right
losing
time.
had a losing SEC record in the regular season, losing SEC record, and they just, like you said, got hot at the right time and stayed hot. If anything, got hotter and went and won the whole thing. Just went and won the national championship. I didn't watch any of it. I Saturday nights I got to like kind of just sit and watch TV, and I saw that the Phillies were playing, and I haven't watched them all year. So I was like, oh, these are my boys. So I sat and watched that whole game, and it was a great game to watch because Schwarber hit 3 home runs, went 3 for 4. Uh, Bryce Harper hit for his first cycle. So that was pretty cool to see. And then they played again Sunday on TV on NBC, which when did NBC start carrying baseball?
I don't know.
Pretty cool though, because I got to watch the Phillies play again against the Mets. The Phillies won that one as well. That was a little bit closer game because the Phillies, I mean, beat the brakes off of them Saturday night, but they beat them Sunday too. And uh, Harper had another big game. Homer was a triple shy of a cycle in that game. So Philly showed up and showed out for the 2 games that I was able to watch them over the weekend. So I was glad to see that. That was the most sports I watched over the weekend. But yeah, um, Oklahoma winning the men's college world series, which is interesting. The softball team's usually the team that wins a World Series, you know. But
Hmm.
here's the baseball team out of nowhere, literally kind of out of nowhere. Just got hot and went and won the national championship, which is wild. But I mean, hey, good for them. I didn't care who won. Obviously, I didn't tune into it or anything. I I'm not one of the guys that roots for a team because they're in the same conference as the school I support, root for, etc. For a while, SEC fans would do that. I don't care. If I had to pick who I would want to win, sure, I guess Oklahoma for that reason, but it made no difference to me who won, as I'm sure was the case for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the Phillies over the weekend. The other game that I just sat and watched last night that I actually like paid attention to that I watched since the weekend. Here we are Tuesday. So Monday night did I made something to eat. I did the dishes, or no, I hadn't done the dishes yet. I had just finished eating, and I just turned on the TV to see what was on, and it was the Indiana Fever playing the Phoenix Mercury. I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen Caitlin Clark play all year. I'll check this out. And she had a very Caitlin Clark game. Put up points, got buckets. Had she didn't have as many turnovers that game. I say that. I watched some of the Fever Atlanta Dream game. I think it was Sunday afternoon. Could be wrong on that, but Atlanta beat the brakes off of them. It wasn't even really close. Caitlin Clark had a very Caitlin Clark game as far as like the haters like to point out, her haters.
Yeah.
She was a turnover machine that game, and she absolutely was. It was not a good game by the Fever, so I just couldn't stay interested in it. It was 2-1 because it was 2 one-sided, and I do like Caitlin Clark. So the team that I was rooting for wasn't doing well, so I was just like, all right, I'm going to tune into something else. Uh, last night's game was interesting. There were this is a WNBA thing. I mean, they have more beef than NBA teams nowadays. It's wild. Of course, there was a
Yeah.
backstory there. These two teams don't like each other, Phoenix and Indiana, that is. Dewana Bonner, who had beef with many of the Fever players before last season, then joined the Fever, and people were excited, like, hey, she's on our side now. And then she quit on the team not long into the season and then goes and joins another team, and now she's with Phoenix, and there was no love lost there. Her and Sophie Cunningham got into it, which Sophie Cunningham might be after my girlfriend, might be my favorite person on earth, just because she's entertaining to me. She can play ball, but she can play ball. She's a babe. She's feisty as hell, and she's funny while being feisty as hell too. She just had this pointing contest with Dewana Bonner, and she was doing it just very in a very comedic way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check it out. It's all over social media right now. I just like watching her on the court. Um, she's a beast. Like she's a tough gal. Don't let the good looks fool you. I mean, she is as gritty and competitive and as tough as anybody on the floor, which is very fascinating to me. And she does it in a funny way too, like the how she gets into it with people. Like she's got a sense of humor about her. So I just enjoy watching her on the court because it's always something interesting. But that was so I sat down and I turned the game on with I think there were 9 minutes or so left in the third quarter, and I was saying, okay, I need to do the dish. I'd finished eating, and the fourth quarter had started. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch the rest of this quarter, and then I'm going to clean the kitchen, thinking it's going to fly by. No, there were technicals called throughout, uh, fouls called seemingly every possession. It was the longest fourth quarter of my life, and it was also just very poorly officiated at times. It was. I just kept thinking, like, what made you make that foul call, or why did you think this happened? Just based on it, there's too many to point out specifically, but it was a mess. I texted you like this is the worst officiating I've ever seen in any sport, and I stand by that. They made the SEC officials that officiated the 2009, I think it was, Florida Arkansas game. Might have been 2010. I can't remember. 2009, 2010, one of those years where Arkansas got screwed because Tim Tebow was with Florida and they had all this prestige and national hype, and Arkansas just flat out got screwed that game. They made this crew look like the best crew in the country, officiating wise. It was embarrassing how bad the officiating was. But yeah, the Fever won. Caitlin Clark had a good game. She has her new shoe out, which I don't know what took so long for Nike to put her shoe out. I would think that would be just something that would make nothing but money.
Yeah.
I know they wanted to push Asia Wilson's shoe, I guess. I don't know what she has. They wanted to push her since they're both with Nike. But it's like you've got a gold mine right here with Caitlin Clark. If Asia Wilson wasn't selling before, why is she going to sell now?
Yeah.
It's about business, not hurting feelings. That's goofy to me. Um, Caitlin Clark's shoe is a good looking shoe. It's very blue, which I like
Yeah.
blue. It's a little weird color. It doesn't really fit the Fever, their color scheme. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Jordan shoes fit the Bulls.
Well, I mean, hers are what? I mean, they're basically all blue. I mean, there is some blue in that Beavers logo, right?
Not that kind of
Border.
blue. That Caitlin Clark's shoe is blue. I mean, it is a like ocean blue. The Indiana's is like a very navy blue and red. It doesn't really match, but at the
No.
same time, I mean, so what? You know,
I guess the
it's a good
picture I've
look.
seen, they were a little bit darker. Like they didn't look like bright blue. I mean, they're blue. The ones I seen looked kind of close to navy blue.
There was a clear color contrast to me, but who cares? I mean, if it's a shoe that it's a nice looking shoe, if it sells, so be it.
Yeah.
But that was the first WNBA game I watched, and I only watch it if Caitlin Clark is playing. And Sophie Cunningham is just a nice addition. I'm not going to tune in to watch her play. Her game isn't that aesthetically pleasing to me, but I that's an added element that I like watching on the court. Just her and whatever follows, because it's going to be something interesting and entertaining. Um, but yeah, that's all I added on that. There were times where I was like, okay, I'm starting to remember why I didn't tune into these games, just because it was so poorly officiated and sloppy at times. And the drama was, I guess, the most interesting part. But even that got old after a certain point. It's like, can we play basketball? I like the beat, but can we play basketball? Do we need a foul every possession? Just play ball, ladies. But yeah. Okay, we're almost out of time. I didn't realize that. I went on a rant there for a bit. Anything to add before we get out of here?
We had the Dallas Mavs hiring away Michigan's national championship winning coach Dusty May.
That's
And
true.
over the weekend, the U.S. Open took place, and Scotty did not get it done. Wyndham Clark won. He's by far he's not quite a fan favorite, but yeah, he won. I think it's his second major, so good on him. But yeah, that's all I can think of that we missed.
Okay. And biggest news or top headline Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts agrees to a $54 million deal. So good on him for that. But that's all we got this week. We're going to go watch the draft. We'll be back next week with whatever's going on in the sports world. But until then, I'm Graham Powell.
Brandon Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.